Well, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Psychic Spectrum Radio Show on the Psychic Spectrum Radio Network, broadcasting around the world live from Federal Way, Washington. How is everybody today? We want to say hello to everyone and make sure that everybody, let's stop that one. Make sure everybody's having a good day. And here we go, live with us. How is everybody? We have a couple people checked in already before we even got on the air.
Who are you?
I'm Skip.
I'm Sha'ron, Princess of Chocolate and Sparkles.
So today it's hat day for both of us.
It's good to know who we are.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. So a couple of people checked in before we even got live. We got Wendy in Montana and Allison in Ontario.
Well, Wendy's in Montana as of right now. She might be in North Dakota for a show's over.
Yeah, she said this Saturday afternoon from Montana after a foot of snow last Thursday.
Wow.
The wind is about to blow us into North Dakota today. So cold, windy, wet probably.
Well, if it's snowing, it's not raining.
True.
But I'm sure that.
But snow's wet.
That chill factor's cold.
Oh yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah.
And Cynthia's checked in up there, gave us the thumbs up.
All right.
So, and other people coming online as we're looking.
Yes, it's Saturday.
Yes.
Right? I mean, I got the right day.
Yes.
I can't keep track of the days anymore. Yes, Saturday. This is the 19th.
Yep.
4 days after tax day. So we're recuperating and recovering from that ordeal.
If you had them got them done, get them done.
I see Georgie's not on yet. I don't know if she will come on, but tomorrow's her birthday.
Yep.
I think she's going to be 79 or 80.
And tomorrow's my dad's birthday.
Yeah.
He'd have been 103.
Really?
No. Yeah, 103.
I don't know.
Yep.
I'd have to add it.
He was born in 22.
Yeah. Okay.
Be 103.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Well, I'm sure he is on the other side.
Well, sure.
I mean, he's still going.
What's your hat say on the front? Put your head down.
Love.
Oh, love. And I got my Psychic Spectrum
you do.
radio show hat.
Go. Yeah.
So I haven't worn that in a long time.
This is
I
kind
pulled
of a
it out.
lazy, laid-back day.
Yeah.
You know, which is kind of nice. We haven't had those for a while. Well, you haven't. I've been kind of under the weather, so I've had more days of that than you. But I wasn't, out having fun or doing anything exciting. So I guess it wasn't really fun for me. But anyway, this getting old sucks. I mean, right when you think everything's great, then boom, something hits you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of that. I'm tired of the little sneak attacks. But we keep getting through them and we keep moving on. So that's a good thing. I was kind of waiting for some more people to come on because, that before we do what we're going to do.
Get into our stuff.
Yeah. I mean, because it's kind of sad when they come on a little late and then everything's done.
But then they can always watch the replay on their favorite podcast app, but just by searching for Psychic Spectrum Radio.
Yeah, that's true. But while we're waiting, I guess we could say hi to all the ones and thank all the ones that listen on the archives when they can't join us live.
Yes.
Because they're busy with work or lives or whatever. And so they take time out sometime and listen to us. We appreciate that. And also, to the ones that join us every Tuesday and every Saturday, thanks for the loyalty and thanks for checking in and taking time to kind of sit down and just kind of have a cup of coffee and relax maybe. Or if you're on the go, at least you're listening to us.
Yeah.
I guess, wasn't it Dorothy that took us for a walk?
Yes.
I think we walked several miles.
We walked a mile and a half out and a mile and a half back with her and, what was his name? Was it? No, the dog.
Oh, I don't remember
her dog. She took her dog with her. She said we walked a mile and a half out and a mile and a half back with, and then she said his name.
Yeah, I was tired.
Is it Gus? No, I don't know what it was.
Josie's on from Marysville.
Hey, hi, Josie.
Hey, anytime. We're trying to. I'm giving some people, because it's Saturday.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people starting to come in up here.
Let's just wait and give them a little bit of time to come in.
Yeah.
But, Easter's coming up. Happy Easter to everyone out there. It's
I'm going to talk about Easter for a minute, too.
Oh, are you?
Mm-hmm.
Because I asked that and you said no.
Oh, no, that's not the topic. That's just a topic we're going to talk about.
Oh, so you confused my question.
Our whole topic today is going to be about past lives because you guys asked for it. So we put it on the list of topics to you asked for it. So we put it on the list for topics to talk about, and we are going to do it today. We're going to tell you everything we know about it and
Well,
everything that we've done with it.
And they can ask questions about it.
Yep.
And to the best of our ability, we'll answer them. I mean, we are not the end-all, know-all of anything.
Mhm.
No one is, but we've been around for a while, so got some insight.
And we haven't said, or you haven't said hello to John in Tacoma.
I have not said. I just got to the archives.
Yeah.
And the ones that were loyally joined us every Tuesday and Saturday.
Our friend John.
Yeah, and I've actually set a date. I've got to email him now. See if he can do that on that day.
Okay.
For lunch.
After Easter, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's after Easter because I know he's busy.
Lunch?
With that Easter thing.
Yeah.
Considering he's going to be tired. He's going to need a break. He's going to need lunch. And also, to all the ones, I don't know if Kai's listening, but hi to Kai, hi to Galen, hi to all the peeps at the showcase. Once again, thank you for hanging in there and helping Skip out with the showcase because I haven't been able to be there. We appreciate you so much. You will never. And like I always say, tell a friend, tell an enemy, just tell somebody and tell them, come on down.
Galen's been pretty helpful.
That's good.
He played Vanna on Wednesday night.
Vanna. Okay. He makes a good Vanna.
Yeah.
I should get him a blonde wig.
In a dress.
Yeah, well, he can wear a pantsuit.
No.
I don't know. We may have to, maybe on Halloween, we can get him to dress up as Vanna.
Oh, look, and Becky's with us from Texas.
Becky?
Tejas.
Tejas?
Tejas,
Oh,
Texas.
Tejas? Oh, that's a cool name. All right. But yeah, so I mean, thanks to everyone that's just there for us and has been there for us and will continue to be there for us. I guess this Tuesday night thing that we started, we're going to stop that until fall.
Till fall, yeah.
Spring and summer is not, everybody's out doing yard work and having other things to do, and we're just going to.
We didn't even think about all that.
I didn't think about it.
Timing was off.
Yeah, timing was off.
So we'll redo it. We'll start it again in the fall.
Yeah, when it's rainy and cold.
Yeah.
Everybody just wants to get out and be dry and be somewhere different, than whatever. But yeah,
right.
So that will happen again in the fall. But yeah, so we're just kind of everybody's winding down for spring and summer. It's like more of a time to play, relax, get out and make the yard look nice, and just do something relaxing and digging in the dirt. That kind of thing. So that's all cool. And
Crystal's on from Northeast Washington. Okay. She checked in. Hey, I want to say something. Our topic today is going to be past lives and everything we know and have experienced about it, and with other people and things like that, and some research that we've done thrown in there. But I do want to say that one of our listeners here who has checked in, her son is intuitive in his own way, in natural intuition. And he was a little kid when I first met him, and he asked me a question about my past life.
7, I think, somewhere in that.
Yeah, someplace in there.
Yeah.
So I'll bring that up when we talk about it. Debbie, happy Easter. Almost. Yep. Almost. Not quite there.
Well, I'll tell one of my jokes early.
All right.
Easter, eggs have gotten so expensive. I thought we were going to have to bake potatoes. I did. Little round potatoes. Think about it.
Yeah, I know.
Once you found them, you can always cut them up, make potato salad.
Yeah.
Rainbow potato salad after you colored them. Yeah, I mean, it would have worked.
You could inject it into them with a syringe and then fry them up and have rainbow potatoes. We got to try that.
I don't know if it'd spread out, though. It might just go where you injected it.
Oh, it'll spread out some.
Some, but not.
Go around the potato and shoot it several times. I'm going to try that. I'm going to have rainbow potatoes.
Rainbow fried potatoes or rainbow potato salad?
Oh, no, fried potatoes.
I think potato salad might be cool. On Easter.
Ooh.
Different cubes of different colors.
The German potato salad, the kind that my mom make, that you make, but with rainbow potatoes. You want to try that?
Well, it would be different. I don't think it would affect the taste. It would just be different.
Yeah. And JM's with us from Yakima, or Yakima, as the Indians called it.
Yakima.
Native American name was Yakima.
I bet they don't have snow.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think snow's gone.
It's raining here today. It was so sunny for the last 3 days,
It was
4
beautiful
days.
yesterday.
And then, so yes,
65% sure of rain today.
today and tomorrow, or tonight is some, and then tomorrow we start the sunny side again.
But I did see in the weather, since our hippy dippy weather woman's on, where this summer, where we are, and she'll be a little warmer than we will be. We're going to be 40 to 50% warmer than normal.
40 to 50. Holy crap.
Yeah. So I think we're going to have a lot of days probably in the high 90s, low 100s. That's just me thinking. It's not a prediction, but
she says no snow. It's been in the 70s.
Yeah.
Ours has been in the we actually hit 70 once.
Did it?
Yeah.
It was up there.
Yeah.
It was in the high 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yesterday was nice. I got out and I sat on the deck and enjoyed just sitting there.
Yeah. Let's do this.
You want to do, well, some people are on now, so we can go ahead and we can start with the whole thing if you want.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Okay, so today is 4/19. If Georgie comes on, we have to sing her happy birthday.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta call her today too. But it's a 5-day. So it's
Ruh-roh, Yakima could be 160 this summer.
Oh, I hope not. I hope not. But being a 5-day, this is all about change and transformation. So kind of embrace change. If there's change in your life, good or bad, look at it for what it is. Realize this is a year of endings and beginnings, and let it be and let it go, or embrace it, whatever the change is, and realize it's all happening for our higher purpose. So change is good.
Yeah.
If none of us ever changed or nothing ever changed, what a dull world.
Yeah, I know.
And how can you be enlightened or grow in the spiritual world or any other world if you don't allow change to take place, either in the emotional, the mental, or the physical front? You have to be able to allow change. So change is a very powerful word.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what today's all about. The stone I picked for today is blue kyanite.
Oh, I got it.
Which you actually have a piece, but I didn't know where it was, so I didn't get
Check that out. That's the rough,
that's
uncut, natural
kyanite.
Isn't that cool? No, watch this.
It comes in different variations of that color of blue.
Yeah.
It could be light blue, dark blue. Yeah, it could be.
And here is a wand that has been cut.
Oh, isn't that pretty?
In it. That cool?
I may have to get some of that.
And then somebody took a piece, they tumbled it and cut it, and they made a ring.
That is a gorgeous ring.
I don't like the setting, but it would be cool as a ring.
It could be the setting was because of the way the stone was. They had to cut it like that.
Yeah.
It could be. I don't know, but it's beautiful. I like it. Anyway, what's it represent? Let's see. It helps calm you. So when you have to do communication, because it helps with communication, it keeps you calm and you can say what you have to say.
Yeah.
It resonates with the 5th chakra, which is your throat chakra, as well as, the crown and the sacral. We can too.
Mm-hmm.
But the 5th one's, because blue is the color of that chakra. It has the ability to align all the chakras at once. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. And this stone is said to help bridge between the worlds of the spiritual and the physical world.
Really?
So, yeah, that's what it says. So, so the affirmation I picked was, I speak my truth and choose to live authentically.
Mm-hmm.
Because how else could you with that stone? And it helps you do it.
That is really cool.
Yeah, it's a beautiful stone.
I like that cut in a ring.
I like the polish. I've never seen it polished. That's pretty.
Well, how about that one?
Well, yeah, the wand's pretty too. I've never seen a polished one of kyanite. I never have. It's always been in the rough form, which is kind of strange.
It's not really expensive, but it is not cheap either.
No, and I don't know. It's just it's when you hold it, it just makes you feel good because it calms you down.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool. Doesn't depress you or ground you. It just calms you down.
Allison said that it's her favorite color. So it's my favorite color too, is blue, and that blue is really like this one, that is really something.
That is pretty.
I would love to have that.
Yeah.
In
What do they
not
call
that
that?
ring, but
That kind of blue. It's a name for it. That dark royal
blue.
Yeah.
That's
It's pretty.
That's cool.
And I'm sure there's light shining behind it. That's how you get the white
Yeah.
in the middle. But that is a cool ring. I like that.
But even this with just, I
Mm,
mean, that is awesome.
that is. I've seen all kinds of wands. Never one of a kyanite. Why? I don't know.
I know.
I wonder if they're hard to polish. I
Could
don't know.
be.
I'm gonna have to look that up, see what it costs. Anyhow, so that's the housekeeping. So we're down to the cards. Let's see
Okay.
what our card's gonna be until next Tuesday.
On Saturday, the card you pulled
I mean, on
was
Tuesday.
or Tuesday. This is Saturday.
Yes, it is.
The card you pulled was the time card, long extended time frames, or has long-term effects on things, or may take longer than you think to get done, a lot longer. So
Don't say a lot longer.
time was something that was a factor for us. Yeah, I was rushed all week. It was like,
It bothers me you say it's going to take a long time, though, with what I have going on. I don't want
it
to take a
doesn't mean
long time.
everything. It doesn't mean everything.
No.
Just for some of the things you're looking at or doing. So
Okay.
let's pick one
All
for
right. Let's see what's going to go on between now and Tuesday.
Saturday and Tuesday. Now to Tuesday.
Yeah. Which would be what? The 20th is on Sunday. It'd be the 22nd.
Mm-hmm. Okay, go for it.
Okay. It's warm on this side. I like. No. Want that one.
Well, people, be prepared to change your minds. It's all about the head and the heart, and you're going to react to things or think about things from the head first, and then you realize that you should have done it from the heart.
Uh-oh.
Or you react from the heart, and you realize you should have used the logic side and react from the head. So be prepared to change your minds.
Well, that's a good card for today.
Yeah.
All about change.
Yeah. So
Could I pull two more to see in reference to what that's all about?
this thing, changing your mind,
Yes.
being flexible.
Yes. Can I?
Sure.
So, I mean, I'm just wondering. See if it gives us some more clarity.
Okay.
Okay. I like this side. I want that one. And that one.
You got more than one.
Oh. Well, hold them close so I
Okay.
can see which one I want. Here.
All right, I got
We
it.
can do it.
Go ahead, pick one.
I like that one.
Okay. Be flexible. Okay, you've got to be flexible and think first and then approach things from the head or the heart. But thinking will enable you to stop, slow down, and figure it out. And then you'll react the right way. What that's in reference to is some changes, things that are out of your control. Okay. This is also a little bit of some travel. Okay. So if you're going anywhere, rethink your route, verify things, check your reservations, that kind of stuff. And the result of this is movement, changes, progress, future, and trust. Things moving forward and actually happening the right way. If you realize that you're not in control and you are thinking from things from the wrong part, which may be the head first, and you should be thinking from the heart, or vice versa. And that's what this card is. Okay. So
synopsisizing that, I made that word up. That's
be
my
flexible, especially around those two things.
word. What two things?
Control and some travel. And your travel could be from here to the mall 6.5 miles away. Be flexible.
Becky says we're always going somewhere.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
that's kind of cool, though.
It happened to me this morning. I went to take the dog to the grooming place to have him clip the toenails. Groomer didn't show up. So I sat there for almost 2 hours, waited, and I thought, nope, I'm done. So trust me, be flexible.
I wouldn't have waited 2 hours.
Well, it was almost 2 hours.
Becky says we had sandstorms for about 2 weeks solid. Oh, it's warm like 80s, but sand is everywhere. Oh, in our pool. Yeah. Oh,
wow.
Dear.
Ooh. Well, that's Texas.
That's like
wind.
That's like if you have a hot tub or something at the ocean.
Right.
The sand gets into everything. It's, yeah. But it's sure, I mean, just consider yourself blessed. You do have a pool.
Yeah. And Amanda's with
kind of
us.
Weather.
Amanda joined in.
Oh, okay.
She's got a question. We'll get to that in a bit. We are going to talk about past lives, guys. So are we ready to do that?
Well, someone, we made a list kind of. They told us what they wanted us to talk about. That was on the list. So I guess you were going to talk about a little bit about Easter and that too. So what do you want to do first? I didn't know you were going to talk about Easter. I actually found an article, a real long article that explained Easter and that. I should have given it to you.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was interesting.
Becky says that she's coming to Washington on the 11th, and then they've been invited to the White House. Excellent. Well, say hello for us.
Yeah.
Tell them.
Why are you going to the White House? Is there a special event you guys are involved in or what? Just curious.
Amanda says, I want to know if I had a past life.
Oh, we've all had past lives.
Yeah. I don't think you would be here if you hadn't had a past life.
Many times. We've all been everything.
But let's go through this. Let's start from the top and let me kind of lead this. I'm going to do this step by step for how I'm thinking. So,
has there ever been any other way?
No. So let's do this.
But I will put my input in.
Well, yeah. Oh, Jack's Instagram page.
Oh, check it out. Okay.
All right. So, what is a past life? Do past lives exist? Have I had one? Am I going to have more? Oh, Catherine's on from Ireland. She says hi.
Oh, hi, Catherine.
All right. Yes, past lives exist. And let me say this. Jesus said the words, in my Father's house there are many mansions. Okay? And he's speaking spiritually or in the spiritual realm. So take it this way. What he meant was there's not a bunch of buildings. There are different levels of spirituality because Jesus taught spirituality and not religion. Even though I'm going to say this to clarify for people who are saying, oh, they're just anti-religion. No, we're not anti-religion.
No, we're not.
We understand religions a lot, different ones. We've experienced a lot of different things and a lot of different religions, a lot of different people. We believe in religion as far as if that's what people think they need to have, go to church, join and get involved in your religion, but don't lock yourself in and that's it. Okay, because there is a lot more out there than just religion, and you need to incorporate all these things. Just like if you went to a place that
everything.
No, not everything. But if you went to a place that did just mufflers, you couldn't go there and ask them to do a tune-up, even though you're thinking you need a tune-up. You'd have to go to a place that does tune-ups. So you're going to have to incorporate this, maybe go to a place that does both, okay? Or go to 2 different places. There's nothing wrong with that. So just remember that you're going to need to look at all sides and keep an open mind when we talk about past lives. Now, most religions, most religions will not get into past lives. However, some of them do. All right. Now, what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say religion is based on the Bible.
It's based on man's interpretation of the Bible.
Exactly.
And the Bible is based on the scrolls.
Yes, but I'm saying spirituality is a way of life in my eyes. I think the two should be put together.
Yes.
And in some churches, I think they have either done that or they're incorporating it now.
Mhm.
Some have not. Some still see it as the dark thing,
Oh yeah,
and it's because there is a dark side. There's a
absolutely.
dark side to religion too, the ones that have cults and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So there's two sides to every coin. But if you're in the light, and Skip and I very openly say that we are Christian psychics. We
Right.
believe in God. We believe it's a gift from God and he gave it to us,
Right.
and that we're doing his work in another way.
Mhm.
But you don't incorporate everything else out there.
No,
But different
everything on the white
factions,
side.
different factions of the metaphysical, like
Mhm.
astrology, spirituality, numerology, crystals, stones, those are all positive.
Mhm.
If you keep with the positive, you can incorporate it all and still enjoy
Yeah.
going to church and feeling that holiness that you do feel when you walk into a church. At least I
Right.
do.
Right.
It's still a place of high energy and high vibes.
Sure it is.
It's a special, I don't know, it's just a building they built, but it's what's inside it or what they did and who's in there that makes it a
That's right.
special
How it's
place.
operated. Been to some crappy ones and been to some good ones.
Yeah. But I also will say I believe the church is inside us.
It is.
Yeah. So so if you take your church into a church, look at the energy there.
Right.
As long as it's a
back
positive energy.
Back to past lives.
I'm sorry, I had to throw that in.
Past lives exist, okay? I know for a fact that there's things, and I'll give you an easy way to tell, to answer Amanda. She wants to know if she had a past life. Here's, that's funny, the dog growled. Here's a real easy way to recognize this and kind of figure it out. There's things that I have always felt or known in my life that I'm not sure where that knowledge came from, where the feeling came from. I'm not sure how it happened or came about. Anyhow, one example is when I was about 13, there was about 8 or 9, 10 of us guys walking through the woods. We came upon what was like a little dump site. People went in and dumped a bunch of garbage and stuff, things they didn't want.
Or did they?
No, they did.
Think about it.
I'm walking and we're kind of digging through with our feet as we're walking, looking at stuff. And I flipped over a couple pieces of something and I looked down and there was a belt buckle. It had a German swastika on it and it had this wings and things. Anyhow,
You still got that?
I gave it to Joe.
Joe who?
Our son.
Oh, that Joe.
And so anyhow, I've always been fascinated with Nazi Germany. All right. And
Even before you found that?
Oh, even way before that, all my life. And I knew things when my grandpa, I'm German, okay, 100% Kraut. When my grandpa, my dad, my uncle, they would talk about the old country and things like that, as they called it, I would say things and I was little. Okay. And so
you were like 4 or 5, little.
Yeah, 4, 5, and 6. And anyhow, I knew things. Okay. So where did that come from? I don't know. However, when I did, actually, I'm going to go back for just a second before I get to this. I mentioned that another thing about how do you know past lives exist? When we met Becky's husband and her son, Jack, and her back at her house, we pulled up and Jack was outside and this skinny little kid was sitting there. He was what, 6, 7,
Oh, he was
8.
small. Yeah.
He wasn't very
First,
old.
second grade.
And
There.
he looked at me. I walked around the back of the car over to him and I said, hi. And I looked at him right in the eyes. I said, hi. And he looked at me, he stared and he said, how old were you when you died? And it's like, this kid has no knowledge or concept of past lives. Okay. And
that you knew of.
That I knew of. And I'm sure Becky's on with us. She could say this, verify that. I mean, they probably didn't talk about those things, but I did have my I say it was my death. They call it near-death experience. I left. I went into that where the white light was, and I know I had a near-death experience. So the first thing he said was that, and then I asked him a few questions, and he answered me back, and then he asked me questions, and we had a little talk about it, and I thought that was pretty cool. So anyhow, he recognized it. This innocent child was asking about how old was I when I died. Anyhow, long story short, let's get into the past lives. Okay, we have done regressions on people for past lives, and it was very, what do you call it, fruitful. The persons have
Except
had
for one.
a lot of information. Huh?
Except for one.
Who? What? You lost me.
Charmin.
Oh. Yeah, we won't go into that person. Anyhow, we've had a lot of success at it, and people understand and recognize things. When we do a past life, we do ours the right way. Okay. And now this is my opinion. I don't know about yours, but there is a person, what's his name? The guy that wrote the book about past lives. I can't remember his name. Doesn't matter.
Weird. Just went right out of my mind.
I know, you can research it.
I'll think of it. Maybe Jeannie will bring it up.
Greg something.
No,
he does past life regressions. He's very famous for it. He's done a lot of research, and he's written books.
He's a psychologist, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. And he believes in past lives. His technique for doing past lives is he hypnotizes people. All right. Now I want to say this. Hypnosis is highly, 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 highly suggestive. That's all it is suggestive. You have to, as a hypnotherapist, you have to lead your client into what they're going to get into. Dr. Brian Weiss. Yeah. Anyhow, if you're having to hypnotize and lead them to it, there's things that you're saying or doing that are going to taint their experience.
Maybe. It depends on the hypnotist.
Yes. Well, yes, to some degree, but it also is, you cannot get there without leading them, suggesting. You have to do it. Hypnosis is suggestive. You can't just sit there and do it yourself and go through it.
No, but there's ways to get them where they're trying to get them without saying, "Do you see a red cow?" I mean,
absolutely. But they
do move them through a scenario. In
general, it's suggestive.
Well, the ones
the
that
way
we have
we do it is way different. We were taught to do it this way. We take you into a certain mindset. I could say
we do not hypnotize.
We do not hypnotize at all. There's no hypnosis. And what we do is we take you out to the ethers. We go with you, and you're pretty much there, and you go to wherever you want to. All right. It could be 16th century Finland.
It goes to wherever they want a past life to experience.
Right. Your past lives will bring you there.
And generally, they're trying to figure out why they're afraid or something that they want to correct or understand. So they somehow they just automatically go to that life a lot of times.
Yeah, but let's get into that in a minute.
Well, I'm saying.
But let's get into the part about how you get there. We take you go to where you're pulled to, based on what she just said. We ask you questions, but we don't lead you. What we'll do is we'll say, where are you at? Look around. What do you see? Look at your,
How are you dressed?
How are you dressed?
What kind of shoes on your
feet? Look down at your feet. What's on them? We don't say, what kind of shoes do you have? Look on your feet. What's on them? Anything, or are they barefoot? Anyhow, there's ways to do it. And we've actually seen, and so have the other, like the husband or the wife of the person, that kind of thing. We have actually seen people's faces turn into some other person.
Not turn, but shadow shaping.
Shadow shaping.
Yeah, their face itself don't
you looked like you are your past life.
Yeah, like if you were a man, but you're a woman now,
Right.
and you had a beard,
Mhm.
you'd get a dark shadow would come across here. or
Yeah, and
a
it can be a
mustache.
thick one.
Yeah.
And we also have seen hats
Long hair.
appear.
Yeah, hats, long hair.
Long hair. People will take on the southern drawl or
The
of
persona
that
of that
life, or
person.
and the actions and the feelings. In fact, let's do one quick example of that. A lady, we'll just call her T,
Mhm.
and she went to a past life in Texas.
It was I think it was Texas.
Mhm.
It was down there somewhere.
We said, we got to the point, where are you? What are you doing? And what's going on? And she said she was a sheriff and she killed a man. Correct?
I think she was trying to find out why she didn't like alcohol or people that got drunk or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was,
And I think,
she was a drunkard.
Yeah, she
And
drank
in
a
that
lot.
past life, she
Yeah.
was really bad. And she killed somebody. And she took on, her face changed.
Yeah.
And you could see a kind of a hat on her. And she started talking as a Southerner, like a Texas drawl.
Yeah, she did.
And we took her where she wanted to go next. And she ended up being a madam in New York.
City.
In a brothel.
And she
And-
was like 4 foot something. I
Yeah,
remember that. She was short
4
and
foot.
petite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she wasn't like this in real
No.
life here, but she was short and petite. And I mean, really tiny. And she had that New York style accent. So,
Yeah, but going back to when she found out she didn't like people being drunk or her getting drunk,
Right.
because when she was drunk, she did bad things back then.
yes.
And she was still suffering from it.
Yes.
So,
So
I mean, it made sense to her.
So anyhow, there's ways that you can discover why you do what you do now, how you feel the way you do now. And there's other things that you'll discover about yourself. Like one of them was, we'll call him D.
Mhm.
He had this affinity for swords. Did not know why. And he didn't like European swords. It was Japanese and Chinese swords. But did his past life. Long story short, he went to Japan, a place we figured was Japan, and he met this master sword maker of a sword that he actually has.
Yeah.
One of his swords from, what do you call that period in Japan, where the
Ming-
feudal systems?
The Ming period?
No,
don't
it
know.
was that's China. The feudal systems in Japan. The samurai was
yeah.
big.
Yeah.
And D actually met the man that made his sword and described him. And anyhow,
he was like an apprentice or something.
he was one of his apprentices.
Yeah, and that's why, I mean, and in this life, he still was
Mhm.
he still was, he liked the swords.
Yeah.
He was drawn to them. But you could also leave whenever you want. You only stay as
Mhm.
long as you want. If you say, I want to go, then you go.
Yeah, like T went to a past life, and she felt like she was still in trouble,
Mm-hmm.
and they were coming for her, and they will kill her.
Mm-hmm.
And she panicked a little. She said, I have to get out. I have to get out of here. She said, take me out. And so she took off.
Well, we told her how.
We told her how, and she took off through the
Went to
woods,
another life.
and she left that time period, that life. She was still physically sitting in the chair,
Yeah.
but she recognized the danger because she was killed in that life, and she didn't want to experience that, so she left that.
Mhm.
So anyhow, there's things
So
like that.
That's the only way you can really have quote unquote proof,
Hmm.
because there is no tangible
No.
proof. There's no, I am still not totally understanding how with pictures you could have pictures of different people who look so much alike.
I know.
I don't know what that's all about. I really don't. I don't know if that's a past life connection, or that person looked like Wyatt Earp, right?
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
another person born today looks like Wyatt Earp. Right? Is that Wyatt Earp coming back, or is that a past life? I don't know.
I think it can be. I think it can be.
Well, I mean, famous people do come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they can have the same voice, they can act the same, I suppose, because that DNA from that past life is still there. And we all, all of our lives, all our past lives are in that DNA.
Yeah, they are.
And so when you come back in again, that DNA is coming in with you. And all those karma and all the memories and all the, somehow though, when you come through that veil, all the memories don't always come to where you remember them.
Mm-hmm.
But there are the ones that do. And it's usually children get it first.
Right.
Like remember the kid that said he was small, and yet they were riding in the car and he told his parents, I used to live in that house.
Sure.
And I put my wallet on the nightstand.
Yeah.
And
he said, I used to be a famous movie star.
Something, yeah. And a family member still lived there. So it wasn't maybe 10, 15, 20 years down the road that the person had died, which is kind of weird.
And they went into the house.
And he
they
took her right in. He knew exactly where to go, you know.
And he walked right in there, and they opened up the drawer. His wallet was in that drawer. It had his name on it, and they recognized that, well, this guy was a movie star.
I don't remember that part of it. I just remember the lady said, yeah, that's where he used to put his wallet and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's just strange things. You have no way of anybody understanding how that child knew that.
Right.
And our own grandchildren, when they were 3 or 4 or 5, they would talk, and one said, I wish I could fly. And I says, well, did you fly before? And he goes, yeah, I used to fly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's funny, our second grandson said he doesn't like getting his face wet when we talked about an airplane.
Right.
And apparently he, experienced something in a past life.
Apparently the plane crashed in the water.
Yeah, his face got wet. I don't know. But I find that weird that those two are brothers now.
Yeah.
I do. I find that weird. But doppelgangers, I don't know if it's a doppelganger.
No doppelganger.
Well, maybe when it comes to the ones, no, because a doppelganger is like you're here and you're doppelganger somewhere. You're in the same reality.
A different
time frame.
Different universe, I think, or whatever you want to call it.
No. Remember the guy when we were church hopping, and that one minister said, you've been here before? And I said, no, I haven't. And he says, so my doppelganger had been there, meaning in that same time frame, she was living too.
Yeah, it can be in this one.
Yeah, so I totally believe we do have doppelgangers, Katie. I really do. I don't think that's associated with the past life part, though. I mean, that's just me. Maybe we should talk sometime. Maybe you would like me to some other way of thinking. But Lou got a new CPAP machine. It is quiet, isn't it? You can't even hear them now.
Okay, so I want to go back to what I said when we started this. Everybody has had them. Amanda asked, I want to know if I had a past life. So have you ever thought that you have this fascination with something that would have been in the past, or you just know something about things that happened in the past, or you've
deja vu.
Deja vu.
Like you've been there before.
Right. You walk into a place and you feel like, whoa, I've been here. And you look around and you just know where things are, how they were put there, or whatever the place you're at. That is what your connection is with a past life, especially if you go into an older building. I'm talking like really old. Like, remember when we went to that we went to Las Vegas or Reno. I can't remember. I think it was Reno. We went up in the hills into that little old ghost town, and they had the Catholic church there with the clothing of the priest and the bishop, or all the people that were there. Anyhow, they were tiny little people. They were little people. And being raised as a Catholic,
like 5 foot,
5 foot was tall.
Yeah.
But being raised as a Catholic in this life, it had nothing to do with being raised as a Catholic. I went in there and I knew what these people were doing back then. It was like I had walked into this in short snippets of when I look at different things, it's like I knew how they were used and what they did with them, their process, which was quite different from the Catholic Church today.
Well, I can't remember where it's between Yakima and the Oregon border. I'm sure JM would know. At the Whitman Mission.
Whitman.
If you go there and you look at the buildings and the door frames and the beds, they're short. I'm 5'7", and I had to duck to go in. I mean, the people were really small back then, and I don't know whether that's because they got married at 12 and died at 40 or less. Maybe they were more children than they were adults. I don't know, but they were little people. But I just found that amazing.
But we do past life regressions for people.
Yeah.
We have done them, and we have talked about using this special camera that we have and filming it digitally.
A low light camera, right? Because we can't seem to get a camera that's low light enough because all the lights are out. It's dark in the room, except for a flashlight and a crystal that we shine the light through the crystal onto the face of the person. And so you see all this stuff behind them, on a wall. You see the shadows and all that stuff. But I mean,
but I want to film it with two cameras, one low light and one regular, and see if we can see, because we're in the dark anyhow. We turn on the little light.
That's true.
But
don't ever do it without being in the white light and having somebody there that knows what they're doing.
And doing it correctly.
Because if you try that, make sure you're in the right place.
Yeah, and I want to record it on the computer, so it's digitally recorded and it's clear and crisp.
And if we did that, and that person gave permission, we could show it.
Oh yeah, we could, but
we'd have to get their
does
permission.
Work. I have done it, and I realized why I had this fascination with Nazi Germany, and why I knew things about Nazi Germany, that my grandpa would look at me after I would say it, and it's like, how the hell did you know that type of a look? And he'd say things to my dad about that. So, or actually he said that to my dad. How the hell does he know that?
Yeah.
And I was just a little kid, and I thought I was in trouble for saying it.
There are times you act like a Nazi.
Me?
Jawohl.
But there's techniques that you use when you do past life regressions. There's all kinds of things written about it. And then there's the question of, what do you do between past lives? This goes back to my very first statement that Jesus said, "In my Father's house, there are many mansions." Okay. Past lives happen because you moved on to another level, to the other side, and you experience things there until it's time to come back and do things on this side and learn more. Go back to the other side because
take care of karma.
Take care of your karmic debt, which is what this. Anyhow, the whole point is this: my Father's house, there are many mansions. It's levels of spirituality. You learn here, you hopefully raise your vibration, you get to move up on the other side. You do well there, you learn, you get to move up on this side, have a little bit better life or be a better person. So it's back and forth, and you learn and you raise your vibrations of your spirit, your soul.
I don't know if I totally agree with that last statement.
What statement?
Because this is a classroom. Earth is a classroom. I don't think if you do better, you come back better in another life. You're coming back to get rid of karmic debt, or to experience something you haven't experienced, or you have agreed to come in and help somebody else.
And that could be your karmic debt.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you're going to come back and have a better life.
No, it means,
because at some point, I mean, we have all been millionaires, we've all been murderers, we've all been prostitutes, we've all been ministers.
You will come back as a better person in that respect, that of the thing you worked on and things you worked on in this life. The next life, you go over there, and your life over there, you experience what you need to have, and then you don't have to do that anymore. So now that's gone. So each time you move from side to side.
If you follow
okay, but hold on. If each time you move from side to side, you're hopefully become a better soul or spirit. Now,
more highly evolved spiritually.
here's the big question.
And sometimes the most highly evolved spiritually are the ones that come in handicapped, which is kind of sad.
But here's the whole question. Did Adolf Hitler come in to do what he did, or did he get off his path?
Yeah. You don't know.
Don't know. Did
Genghis Khan do that?
Did he do that? Yes. And did what's the guy in Iraq that
Saddam Hussein?
Saddam Hussein, did he do? Was he on his track? Or we don't know. That's between him and God, I think. However, I will say this: God presents teachers to us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and whatever, I'll use Adolf Hitler. Whatever he did, for whatever he did, why he did what he did, it doesn't matter. He was one of the greatest teachers in history, at least in modern history, and because he taught us a hell of a lesson. And we need to remember that. And that's where people say history repeats itself if you forget it. Okay, so you have to address those things, which is what you do when you work on your karmic debt. So raising your vibration and figuring things out, regressive therapy or past life therapy. There's different ways to do it. I've seen people do it with drugs. I've heard of, I haven't seen them. They do it with drugs. It's like, I don't trust anything like that.
If you're going to do it with anybody, I don't care who they are, you've got to check them out.
Mm-hmm.
See how long they studied, what courses that they took,
their techniques,
what side they're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're going to be put under or do something and you're in a state of where something could come in, you don't want that.
No.
You want to be protected. So do they protect you? And do you,
Lou
check
says,
them out. Just don't take everybody at face value.
Lou says he'd love to try regressive therapy to see his past. That's how you do it. That's what would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Josie says, how long does a regression usually last?
Well, it can be anywhere from an hour to 3 hours. It depends on how many lifetimes you want to go through and how much you want to experience.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody, usually though, most of ours don't go under 3 hours.
No.
It's usually around 3 hours or so.
But I will say this, that
we'll go until you don't want to go anymore.
Exactly. You are the person who dictates how long it goes. We don't say, oh, it's been an hour, we're done. It's been 40 minutes, we're done. Mm-hmm. We go until you think you are done, or you don't want to go anymore, or you've done and you found out what you want.
Yeah, your questions are answered, or
your spirit, your soul will recognize, okay, this is enough for now, or I've got my answers, or I think I'm tired physically. I want to stop, which I don't see people ever get tired. But I'm just using it as an example.
So much tired as much as I think they feel like they've done what they needed to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And one time doesn't answer all of your past lives. It answers the ones that you are wondering about in this life.
The questions.
The things that you have questions about in this life. So
like, why am I scared of water?
Yeah.
Or why am I afraid of marriage?
Right.
Or
like
why am I drawn to samurai swords? I mean,
like T wanted to know, why don't I hate drunk people.
Yeah. Yeah.
People who drink. And she got her answer. The first spot out she went to.
No, was it the first or the second? I can't remember.
Oh, it was the second one.
I think it was the second.
Second one.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I love seeing their faces and what they experience, and it all comes from you. It doesn't come from us. We're just the captain of the ship, you might say, navigating you, and not navigating even you're navigating yourself. You're choosing when to land or when to look around and what it represents. We're not even
where you go.
Yeah, we're not even doing that. We're just there to make sure you're okay.
So anyhow, that's past lives. Do they exist? In our experiences and our beliefs, absolutely. In some of the churches, but when I say church, I mean the religious writings,
but the regular churches.
Not the
offshoots.
Right. Some of their writings it's addressed. And I can make a whole show out of that. Like I looked in the Bible that up there on the shelf today, and because I wanted to make sure about something, and I looked at it, and it doesn't talk about past lives, but it has a place in there where it talks about in the next life. So in the next life, you are going to have another life on the other side.
Now, they could be making reference to the life you have after you die. I didn't read the passage.
That's what it is. That's what they're saying.
That's not a past life then. That's just
no. It's not a past life. It's not what I'm saying. They talk about in your next life. So you will have another life. Okay, wait, on the other side.
That's not a life then. That's a spiritual life. That's an energy life. That's not coming in and having another physical life.
Oh, but see, we don't know what they're referring to, the physical or the spiritual. On that side or
this side? See, I was trying to clarify next life.
Right. It could be both or one or the other. I get what you're saying.
Thank you.
So anyhow, Katie says, have you had a negative experience going to a past life?
The only thing I would relate to the word negative is people have been scared. They've been running somewhere and they don't want to stay there. So that's the only, or like the tea lady said, I want to leave. They're coming after me. Those are the negative experiences. But then we just tell you to leave. So you aren't there, but you understand probably from what you experienced while you were there, why you want to leave. And that answers your question in a way. But a negative experience, I don't think we've really had one.
Never. I've never had one when I had my regression.
No.
And we've never had one from people. People have never had one when we do a regression for them.
No, I don't think so. Not that I can remember.
Yeah. So no. But if you want to do a past life regression, pick someone who's experienced or knows what the hell they're doing, because you don't mess with these things like that. It's not that you're going to get weirded out or anything, but the experience, if you want a good experience, you're going to go through the trouble, the time.
You want to make sure you're jumping from the right light, you're protected.
Right.
And this person's not going to hypnotize you and then walk you through something and tell you that's what you experienced.
Right.
Because nobody should put that thought into your head. You got to put your own thought in your head.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So is there any other questions out there? Go ahead and type them in because we'll answer them. Then we're going to go on to your guys' questions.
I don't know if Katie was on yet when we said that we're not going to be meeting on Tuesdays till fall.
Yeah.
At Tacoma Lanes. We're going to, we weren't even thinking timing. It's spring, it's summertime. We're going to wait till fall and start it up again. So we're back to only one night a week at the Poodle Dog, just so you know.
Yeah, we didn't think about the time.
I didn't. And everybody's they're either going on vacation, working in the yard, getting out there and enjoying the good weather. So that's okay. That's okay.
So, Josie, what'd she say? Have you ever experienced a time when someone recognizes someone in their current life was with them before? Good question.
I think we did. If I remember right, I think there was a mother-daughter thing. And it's like she would have been the daughter in this life, but she was the mother in a past life.
Yeah, that's right.
And the mother in this life was her daughter.
In this life,
and remember, I can't remember who it was, but someone said the mother starved them.
Yeah. Who the heck was that?
Oh, I can't remember. But yeah, we have.
Right. And that's part of what we always say, that we've recognized and been taught this and experienced these things, that souls run in packs on this side and on the other side, because we are all working on the same experiences. Is that forever? No.
I don't know.
But you come and go to the pack you need to work with things on. Whoops.
I don't know. Is there a soul pack? I believe there is.
Oh, yeah.
And I think within this soul pact, I think we've all agreed to be each other's mother, father, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, whatever. But believe me, we've all had past lives. Like I said, we've all been women, we've been men, we've been sisters, brothers, aunts, all the family members. We've been murderers. We've been priests.
This really ticked me off when I first heard it.
That's on the world out there. We've all experienced it in some, as bad as it is to say, people, I think, we've all been prostitutes. We've all been military. We've all killed people, I mean,
been
as well as
priests and
saved
nuns,
them. Yeah, I mean,
preachers.
we've been good, we've been bad, but we've been everything.
It pissed me off when I heard it the first time because somebody said, you were a such and such in a past life.
A woman.
And I'm like, get away.
Mm.
I won't say what I really thought, but anyhow, after learning about these things and you understand, it's like, yeah,
Seriously.
yeah,
And you either, how do I want to put this? Let's see. What the question is, and I'll use my own grandmother for this reference. Did my grandmother come in because I needed her to come in and treat me the way she did because in a past life I treated her like that? Who knows? Or did she say, okay, I'll come in and treat you like that just so you can experience what it feels like?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. But the ones that do the worst things to us are the ones that you really have to say, wow, they really kept to their word.
Yeah.
Or did they? Did they get off path? Maybe they came in to help and they got jealous and decided to go off path, and who knows? But I mean, that's part of the faith. That's part of, we're not supposed to know that until the other side, because it would change how we react or choose or be.
Mm-hmm.
So why come in if you're going to have a knowledge of that and have the choice? That's you were cute and Greg.
Okay. So
anyway, that's it for past lives.
Right.
I hope that was as clear as mud.
If you just joined us and missed it, go listen to the replay, the archive. It'll be on your favorite podcast app. Just type in Psychic Spectrum Radio, and with today's date about past lives.
And I think we should also make reference. I'm not saying everybody out there that went to a weekend convention or a weekend class and then does hypnotherapy and takes you through a past life regression. There's good ones out there, I'm sure. I don't know them all. I myself,
I wouldn't trust them.
I could only talk for myself. I wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't put myself in their hands. But that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do that kind of thing, check them out.
Yeah.
Find out what their background is. Find out other people that's had experiences after they went there. I wouldn't just take them at face value. And I'm not meaning to put anybody down that does that, because there's a lot of good ones out there that have the right intent and want to do it for the betterment of all. So you just got to be careful. You got to be careful.
Right.
It's like they say, only believe half of what you see and whatever that thing is.
All right. Another topic, Easter, real quick.
Easter.
I'm going to read this to you guys, okay? So pay attention. Easter. When is it? Sunday.
Sunday, the 20th.
Easter was originally the celebration of Ishtar, Ishtar, the Assyrian and Babylonian goddess of fertility and sex. Her symbols were the egg and the bunny. Okay? They were and still are fertility and sex symbols. Mm-hmm. Or did you actually think eggs and bunnies had anything to do with the resurrection of Jesus? No.
I don't think so.
After Emperor Constantine decided to Christianize the empire, the Roman Empire, Easter was changed to represent Jesus. But at its roots, it's all about the celebration of fertility and sex. Now, I have to say this. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm saying that the church did that to gain or win over or incorporate the pagans and the other religion practices at the time, like Islam, into the Christianity realm. So that's why they did those things, and that's cool. I think that's good. They did it. Maybe their techniques I wouldn't have approved of, but that's where Easter came from. And if you think about it, the resurrection of Jesus, is something associated with Easter, but so is fertility and sex. The person gets pregnant and resurrects a baby, I guess, is a good thing.
Rebirth is what it represents.
Rebirth, yes.
Because I was reading where it does in some areas reference Jesus, because there was the rebirth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that is true.
Yeah. So it represents Jesus' rebirth, but it also represents, it's associated with sex and fertility, the birthing of another person. So, and the egg and the bunny.
Maybe that's the way it was back then.
And there was a saying back when they used to do a blood test and they injected into the rabbit, and if the rabbit died, you were pregnant. If the rabbit lived, it was a big thing. People would think they got somebody pregnant. They do the test and go, hey, they'd celebrate. The rabbit lives. So anyhow, and the egg, the fertility of the egg. So anyhow, that's kind of about Easter.
Well,
so keep that in mind, but still celebrate Easter for what it's really meant to be.
That's there maybe back in the Babylonian days.
Right. Oh, and by the
that
way,
would be back in the pagan days too, right?
People think Babylonian and Assyria, right? Do you know where those are? Those are Iraq.
Greece. Oh, is it?
Yes.
That was Greece.
So,
I don't know.
Anyhow,
Pam's on says, "Be careful. I had a bad experience with someone who you know." Oh, that I
who
proved
did-
my point.
who did your
I can
regression?
imagine
Yeah.
who that was, but I proved my point.
Yeah.
But I won't go there.
So Lou has a question. He said, "When's our first Bigfoot UFO evening?" Go to the website,
It's in
Lou.
May, isn't it?
Go to the website, Sha'ron. You're asking me. I have so many things to do. I can't remember that. Go to the website. Every event, everything is on our website. And if something's questionable, like is there going to be a psychic showcase tonight, before you go or before you join in online, look on the website, because if there's a change to anything, we post it immediately so people can know. And I had somebody ask me last week or the week before, can't you just email us? And it's like, how do I do that? I have your email address, but I also have about 7,000 other email addresses. And you can't send 7,000 email addresses en masse without having to pay a nice chunk of money for a monthly subscription to something.
Well, I wouldn't tell them to go to the website because there's nothing there.
Really?
What?
Well, they're probably down. Their servers are probably down. I'll look at it when I'm done.
Okay.
But anyhow.
But I to answer Lou's question, I think it's May.
I don't know.
I don't think we would go up there before May.
No.
Because this is April.
Yeah.
So next month. Next month.
In the dark of the moon, the darkest weekend, the darkest Saturday night we can get.
We can find out by tomorrow or Wednesday and tell him on Wednesday.
They'll have their servers up. Every once in a while that happens.
Well, I saw on my phone that they're saying there's a power outage somewhere. So that could have something. I mean, thank God we got power, but I don't know.
Yeah. So anyhow, let's do your guys' questions, okay?
Yes, 10 after.
10 after 2?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So it's time for questions.
Okay, so questions. Where am I? I'm trying to find questions. Amanda. Any messages from Mom and Dad, Donald and Francis?
Good silence. I love that. You got to wait for him to connect, though. Donald and Francis.
Amanda, I see your dad sitting around and he's got khaki colored pants. You don't like that? That's a brown, right? A light brown?
Kind of a tannish
color. Yeah, tan.
Light tan.
Yeah. And he's got these khaki pants on and there's this light blue shirt that's kind of thin, but there's a lot of wind around. And
I saw a fishing pole.
Really?
Yeah. I was before you talked, I was going to say I think he's wanting something about fishing. I mean, you getting anything on that?
No. Okay. Well, it could fit that.
Well, it could
out on the water, the wind, and sitting there.
I was just thinking, what do you want us to say? And then I got this picture of him and a fishing pole.
Right, and that's fishing. What I got was a picture.
Yeah.
And enjoying it.
Yeah, so I don't know. You'll have to let us know if fishing's something he was big on or not, or whatever. Was that his pastime? But it's like, it felt good. It's like he's relaxed and happy and kind of chilling out. That's what it felt like to me.
And I don't see anything. I don't see your mom. I don't get anything about mom or from mom. But
I don't either.
What's her name? Francine?
Francis.
Francis. There it is.
Francis.
Okay. Just know that there's a focus on him for some reason. And it's like he's busy having fun, relaxing. I will say this, there's other people around. I don't see them. I know there's other people around. There's a lot of other guys actually, and they're talking. So this could very well be something fishing.
For some reason, I also want to say I feel like there's a story behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there was an Easter where they all went fishing or something. I don't know.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
It's an outdoor setting.
I was going to say there's a reason
he gave it.
He gave this, and it has something to do with what happened to him maybe at this time of year.
Yeah, could be. I don't know.
So,
there's something. Yeah, it's related somehow.
Question from Debbie. Put it on the screen. My sister-in-law is having laser surgery to remove a blockage in her leg this next week. Will it be success? Yes. And she says she is very nervous about it. Tell her to just, the less she can be nervous about it, the easier it will be. Just go in and know she's in good hands, because the doctors that she's got and the place she's having it at, I don't care if they have got a B rating or a C rating, they're top notch, and they're going to do exactly what needs to be done the right way.
Yeah. I say just go with the flow.
Yeah.
And whatever they tell her to do afterwards, do it.
Yeah.
Do what the doctor says.
And here's a good point. Amanda says, I switched to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So just remember this. We go to YouTube and search out Psychic Spectrum Radio, subscribe, and click on the little bell, and you'll be told every time there's a new show coming on. But being on YouTube is a better platform, and it doesn't break up. It doesn't have problems and slow and that kind of a thing. So anyhow.
Well, it seems to be.
Yeah,
Ginny keeps saying K pasta. It's K pasa. P-A-S-A, pasta. She's put an Italian accent on it.
Yeah.
K pasa.
She says that churches were built with a relic of a saint in the church. Or a what do you call it? A simulation of the relic.
Okay.
It's not always a relic, but it can be a copy. It
represents a saint.
Yeah, it represents a saint.
Is there anything of that saint in that relic, or is it just
no?
Okay, I don't know.
Josie says, I've been reading Journey of Souls, talking about the time in between lives. It's so interesting.
You know, that's another one though. Think about it. Journey, the book, the lady had found her children in this life.
Yeah.
That too proves past life.
Oh yeah.
It says, what the heck? What was it? Was that Journey of the Souls?
No, that was be across time.
Across time.
Yeah.
That's what it
time
was.
Distance and
time.
Across time and distance.
I don't think it was distance.
Anyhow, we've talked with her.
Yeah.
And
we actually interviewed her. That's another good book that will let you know.
Yeah.
She had kids. She died. She came back in this life while her children that she left when she died were still alive in this life, and she found them.
And she told,
so you don't have to wait years or decades or centuries to come back in for another life.
And she proved to her oldest son, who was the skeptic, he led the family here after she died, and he was the biggest skeptic. She told him stuff that only Sonny was his name, only her and him would know.
Yeah, and as a little girl, she would draw pictures of the path of the church
and the building and her sister's house.
It was really it's a cool
and her
biography. It's not a story; it's a biography, and she's a podiatrist over in England.
Right.
She's probably retired now, but
they call her a chiropodist.
Yeah.
In England.
If you can read the book Across Time, what's her name? I can't remember her name.
I know.
It's a cool book.
We got the book there.
It's a little book. You want me to find it?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll answer some of these other questions here. Doppelgangers.
If I can.
Lou, it would be fun to do a past life regression. If it's something that I recommend people do if they have questions, are curious about things they're experiencing in this life that they've thought about or know, that kind of thing. Josie says it sounds like the relationship with my daughter. And that's what Sha'ron was talking about earlier, about a lady who did a past life regression, and she recognized that her mother was in this life, her mother in this life was her daughter in a past life, and she was the mother. So now it's her turn to come in and experience it. So I just think the whole thing is interesting to get into. Becky says, just give me anything you get for us. Way too many. She capitalized way too many things going on to ask just one question.
Well, that's weird. It's here somewhere. I just don't know where it is.
I'm going to say this, Becky, you are right. There's too many things going on. I'm going to be honest with you. I think there's a lot of things coming up. Are you guys planning on finally pulling the trigger and moving? Where, I don't know, but there's a change around your home. And it's a significant change. That's one thing. Dealing with health issues with family. And I know your husband's profession, but this is dealing with personal health issues with family. And also, there's a big surprise for Jack. And it's not a surprise you give him. It's like a revelation comes over him, or he just comes out with something that he's, oh gosh, how do I say it? Stepped up another level, like a kid would grow into a young adult, or a teenager, and the teenager would grow into a young adult type of a thing. It's like a step for him. But I'm going to say this, all these things will come to a head kind of at the same time frame later on this year. Something around October would be a good time to, now I won't say that. It's something, everything, so these major things come to a head, come together, and you make these huge changes. And life is so much better, and you'll feel safer and that kind of thing. Allison says, is my son and daughter together for Easter? And do you know if they're missing the times we had together on special occasions like this?
Well, I can't find it.
I don't think they're going to be together. I think they're going to talk with each other or say hi, acknowledge things, however the case. But and yeah, they do miss those times. In a heartfelt way. That's all I can describe it as. No, but it's not breaking their hearts. It's just the memory. They're recognizing and acknowledging it in their own way to themselves. And that's why their bond, why they talk time to time. It comes and goes. Oh, Erica's with us. Hi, Erica. Debbie, you're welcome. It's good talking to you. Crystal says, do I need to get surgery on my knee? You know, it's too bad you live away from us, because my knee doctor was amazing.
Find it.
He did he replaced both of my knees. And he's amazing. And I have never had a problem since then. So do you need surgery?
Who's that, Crystal?
Crystal, I don't see you needing it now. What I'm seeing is you needed something done. And sometimes before they do surgery, they can, depending on the injury, they can go in and snip some of the cartilage off that's torn. If that's the case, they can go in and they can do these injections that help.
They can take water off the knee?
Yeah, they can drain the fluid off the knee. And they also have this, what's this cellular stuff they inject? Those.
It's some kind of a gel-like stuff.
No. Cells. Stem cells. They can do stem cell treatment depending on the injury. Mm-hmm. They can do some stem cell treatments, and you may need that. I don't see surgery. like a knee replacement. I'm seeing something else that you can do, but I wouldn't waste time on it. Get it done. So
I definitely would go get a doctor's opinion.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, if you can't walk, your life is just downhill. Yeah, she says stem cells, I think, is what I need.
I think down the road, when my knees get so bad, I might try the stem cells.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are saying, oh, torn ligaments. Oh, yeah, a knee.
Stem cells do work on that.
They would work on that. Yeah, I really think that they would. That's a lot. I would give that a shot.
Yeah. Becky says,
I'd go talk to somebody that's really into stem cell therapy, and I would find out the ins and outs, and I'd check that out.
Becky says, we want out of here. You know, Becky and everybody else that's thinking of moving, not right now is not a good time. The house prices, the interest rate, the amount of houses that are available, wait for another 3 months and then watch, because you're going to say, hey, we're getting into a time now where we could do this. So just give it a little bit of time and watch. About 3 months from now is going to start, things are going to start opening up. The interest rates are going to drop. Inflation is going to be going down. There'll be actual recognizable signs, and you'll be able to pull it off. Okay. And Becky, I need to know your stepmom's name, first name. See if we can connect with her, makes it easier. Stem cells. Oh yes, you're welcome.
Was there anybody up above? Somebody when we first, oh no, that was Donald.
Yeah,
Francis.
I got them all.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Sue. She says she's with two men that that she was with in this life. So maybe she was married twice or more, but there's two that she was with in this life. And it's almost like they're a trio. They do everything together. There's running around, fun, laughing, experiencing. There's different places, because I'm seeing things where they're hopping from place to place.
Could it be brothers?
No, this is
Significant
people
other type things.
Yeah, people like that have a soul connection.
Okay.
What do you call that? Twin flames, twin souls, whatever you can call it. They had that in this life, and there was two. And
so they could have been just really close friends that were like brother and sister, but
no, this was like lovers. Married.
Okay.
You spend your life, some time of your life with them.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but there's a lot of activity. So her dad and stepfather and my dad's dad.
They were all together like that on this side too?
No.
So that's not who it is.
It's not who it is. There's two men that she was married to or lived with. I don't know what you should call it. Love interests. Okay.
So she said no, they weren't. Not like that in this
right.
life. Yeah.
Yeah, it's love interest that she's with. The two loves, I'll say it this way, the two loves of her life is who she's spending it with. And I mean love in a relationship, love, partnership way, not love of family or brother or that kind of thing.
Could you tell us if this was early on in her life to where maybe Becky's husband wouldn't know them?
It was in the second half of her life.
Second half of her
Yeah.
life. Okay, well, they should have had knowledge of that then.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Linda says, I have to move. When will the opportunity present itself?
Since she was 18. Interesting.
She's been married to my dad since she was 18. Doesn't mean that was the total love of her life.
You were saying her second part of her life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if she was married to her dad since she was 18, I'm not understanding.
That's why I said it doesn't mean that was her dad was just the love of her life. There may have been somebody else later on that she
I got you.
knew and was in love with.
Could have been the love of her
And
life
that's what
before
it
she met
feels
the
like
dad.
to me.
I see.
No, after she met the dad.
Oh,
Dad was not the only love of her life as an adult.
okay. And you're saying there was two of
I'm
them?
not saying she cheated.
I'm not either. I'm
Yeah,
saying you
I just
said
wanna make that clear.
there's two of them.
Her dad and the other person that was
Okay.
she loved.
All right.
I know that might sound strange and might stretch your boundaries, but
is the father passed over?
I would think so. I don't know. Is your dad gone?
Because see, what I'm thinking is, if the dad's gone, that's the second male. If it's not, who's the second male? That's who. Because she's not giving me nothing. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Okay. Back to Linda. Did we answer her question?
No, you did
about moving?
No.
Okay, Linda. Don't type this in. I'm just saying I would like to know more to help zero in on this. You said, when will the opportunity present itself? I don't know. Do you own where you're at? Are you in a long-term lease? When does it come up? That kind of thing. What's the situations around it? And then I can tell you what would be better. So you might just want to type it in and send it to us and not put this out online.
Or she could come to the Poodle Dog and get a little session with you.
Yeah, and we could get into it. But there's a lot of variables there. It's like when I can't get into, there's so many variables. I can't get into that.
What month will we find another house?
To buy or rent? Answer that part.
Becky says about halfway through their marriage, she admitted to having lunch with another guy. No, my dad's still here, but not doing very well. So that second guy is not her dad.
No.
So maybe it's someone nobody knew about. Could be.
Yes. Rent. Okay, that helps narrow it down. So what month will we find another house? This is April, middle of April. Near the end of the last 2 weeks of May, I think you will find a place.
I don't think it'll be the final place.
What do you mean?
Like that might be okay to get them where they have to be.
Right.
But
right.
For some reason, I actually heard March,
where
they're going to find something that they're really content with.
Yeah.
But that May thing could be something to hold them over until they find it.
March. This is March. I mean, this is April. You're talking about March next year?
That's what I heard.
Oh, as a permanent place? Oh, I get it. Okay. All right.
When I heard March, I thought, March, that's a year away.
Yeah.
But it could be that they find something suitable till they find what they really want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long have we been online here? Oh my God.
Yep. And you know what time it is?
Yes. Let me tell you what time it is by doing this.
It's time for Sha'ron's Joke of the Week.
Yay!
Well, it's Easter time, so we got to have Easter jokes, right?
Okay.
So what did the bunny want to be when he grew up?
Peter Rabbit.
No, he wanted to join the Hair Force. H-A-R, Hair Force.
Okay.
Okay. I already told you about the eggs. They were so expensive. I was afraid we're going to have to paint potatoes. Thank goodness we don't have to do that.
We got to do a sound effect on that. I think we could do this. They didn't like that one. You're wrecking Easter.
What do rabbits say before they eat?
Hippity hop.
Let us pray.
Let us pray. Okay.
That's for John.
That's for John.
How do you make Easter easier?
Dude, I like that one.
Yeah.
Let us pray. How do you make what?
Easter easier.
My God, they just won't stop on that. How do you make, say it again? How do you make what?
Easter easier.
Easter easier.
Would you stop?
I can't. It's that one. I thought it was that one. Okay. How do you make Easter easier? Wait, don't tell me. You hide the eggs in plain sight.
No.
What?
No, you take the T out of the word Easter and replace it with the I.
Okay.
People are now writing that down, checking it out.
I know it.
Yeah. And the last one. This is for the ladies out here. Okay, they can all relate to this one.
Okay.
Okay. How do you tame a wild hare? And the answer is you wear an Easter bonnet.
You know what happens on the bad ones? We send the bees after you.
Green hornet.
Hey, you got a smiley face, a laughing face out of Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal. She's a loyal fan of mine.
Yeah. Let's see.
Nice.
Oh, Linda says, okay, sounds good. Thank you. All right, you guys. So,
Okay, so you know what time it is. It's time for us, this last rung on the ladder, We're going to have to go. The last bit of gravy's out of the pan. We got to go. We got to go.
what?
There's no more gravy in the pan.
Yeah, and you know what? I can't remember where I put
I'm sure of that one.
the bumper
I
going
can't remember
out.
what day it is.
Where's
So,
that at?
I don't know. He has a bumper for going out, and so we may not hear it today, though.
Lou says, don't repeat those jokes on Wednesday. And Crystal says, thanks for your insights and advice.
Bless your heart.
So
It's not us, it's spirit.
anyhow, we're getting to the point here where we're going to have to go play our old one.
No.
No? Okay, then we won't play anything. We
Yeah,
will just say goodbye, and we'll see you on Tuesday. And then, not Tuesday, on Wednesday.
No, we'll see him on Tuesday.
Where?
Here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We'll do the radio show again. We'll see you on, I was thinking the showcase. We'll see you Tuesday here, Wednesday night at the Psychic Showcase, in person or online.
I hope I'm there.
And next week, and maybe in between.
Mm-hmm.
So,
like we always say,
yes.